Hey guys, Dr. K, welcome to another episode of Cars and Coaching without the cars. For those of you who don't know, I'm an ER doc. I was an ER doc since 1990, so a lot of you probably weren't even born then. I was an ER doc for 25 years. Me and three partners actually started an ER group on the western suburbs of Chicago. In 2010, I actually flipped and became a chief medical officer for that hospital, which eventually merged with a larger organization. When I was in the ER, I was tough. I don't mean tough physically, I mean tough on people, right? Because a lot of physicians are perfectionists, right? And perfectionistic people tend to be very sarcastic. And the ER is a place where one of the ways that you actually lead is command and control, right? You don't want a democratic type of leadership when you're coding somebody or you're dealing with a trauma. So everything is command and control, and you want to demand perfection, obviously, for your patient. So I was a real jackass. Not that I'm not now, but I really was in those days. And I used to tease, and I'm not proud of this, that I think the nurses used to cry before my shift just to get it over with. So fast forward to 2010, now I become chief medical officer. I think this is going to be easy. Now I'm a chief medical officer and I'm a physician. I'm going to tell everybody what to do, and life doesn't work that way. So there's different leadership styles depending on who you actually read, but there's command and control, which has its place. There's pace setting, which has its place, but those two are the last two you should really use. The ones that you really should use are visionary. You should, as a leader, have a vision and be able to influence the people that are following you to be able to execute on the mission and vision of an organization. Another type of leadership style is the coaching style, right? You should be able to coach people, help them get what they want. Another one is affiliative, where you almost befriend them. It's a different type of environment. The two that you really shouldn't use, or use very sparingly because they could have a negative effect, is command and control, which is all I knew in the emergency room, and the other one is pace setting. So if you're making widgets, a certain amount of things. And there's a time and place for those, but usually you shouldn't lead with those. So why do I tell you that story? Well, fast forward 2010, when I become chief medical officer and I act like a jackass and my only leadership skill is command and control, I realized that I had to do self-development and truly understand emotional intelligence. And we've talked about emotional intelligence numerous times, but right, 4 components as described by Daniel Goldman and his colleagues: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. They always say IQ will get you into that C-suite, but EQ really determines how high you go. And really, developing your EQ is extremely important. There have been studies done that for every 1-point increase in EQ, it actually equates to $1,300 extra a year in salary. So EQ really makes a difference. So once I started doing all of my self-development, then I went ahead and actually set up the My Focus model that you hear me talk about. And a lot of that came from teaching physicians emotional intelligence as well as leadership styles, but also how do you combat against burnout. And emotional intelligence really works as a buffering system against burnout. So the My Focus model looks at every aspect of your life. So the M is for what? It's for mindfulness. You have to be present in the moment. You don't worry about the past. You don't worry about the future. It's about mindset. How you look at things is extremely important. We shot a little episode on mindset just the other day. Next piece is habits, because 40 to 50% of what we do on a daily basis is actually habit. You go to the why, it's you. You are the only one that can change. If you don't want to change, nothing is going to change. People always say, when am I going to change? You're going to change when you decide to change. Decide, from the Latin desire, to cut off from. When there's no other option, that's when you're going to change, right? You've heard me say every day, you have a chance, because you don't have to wake up in the morning. You have a choice to actually make a change and make your life better. So the why is for you. If you're not into it, nothing's going to happen. The F is fitness. We have 3 different components there, right? We've got physical fitness, which is sleep, nutrition, and diet. And those are some of the things that I have to go ahead and actually realign because I've been busy with other things. And that's what's going to happen to everyone, right? When you look at the My Focus model, it captures every aspect of your life, but we tend to go up and down in certain things. The key is to be balanced on all of those. So back to fitness, it's physical fitness, emotional fitness, and spiritual fitness. On the physical, it's sleep, nutrition, and diet. On the emotional piece, it's the 10 cognitive distortions. What's that chatter in your mind? What is your mind always saying? Are you a catastrophizer? Do you label things? Do you tend to maximize or minimize things? There's 10 different distortions that we go through, and those are extremely important. Spiritual fitness is not religious. Nothing wrong with religion, but spiritual fitness is really your values. Because you will be successful no matter what you achieve if every day you live by your values. And that's extremely important. A lot of times we rationalize our values. We have people that say, family is my whole life, and they spend 110 hours a week in the office and never see their kids. So you need to call out your values, understand your values, and then live by your values. The O is others, relationships. Quality of your life is directly proportional to the quality of your relationships, and that's the emotional intelligence we talked about earlier with those 4 domains. C is a career. What do you want to do? What do you want your life to look like in 5 years, in 10 years? And then become the person that actually has that type of life. U is for the ultimate reason why. What is your purpose, right? And then the S is for strategy, how you bring it all together. So as I became CMO, as I was an ass, and again, I may not be any better currently, but I did all of this self-development, developed a My Focus model in order to help not only myself, but to help executives as well as physicians. So as a corporation, what we do is we partner with healthcare organizations and other companies, along with their executives and physicians, to do a couple of things. To develop leadership, which is extremely important because you can't lead others unless you lead yourself. We also go ahead and develop resiliency or foster resiliency. And the last thing that we do is decrease burnout. So in a nutshell, after I finished working as a chief medical officer 2 years ago, my consulting company now does this, and we're working with physicians with different organizations, as well as entrepreneurs. We have quite a bit of entrepreneurs, real estate people, etc. But my true passion is really to help the medical students, to help the residents as well as the physicians. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight as to where Cars and Coaching came from and why we're doing everything that we do. Till next time, it's Dr. K. Have a great day.